Hello and welcome to CapitolSocial. This is Betsy Mahan. This presentation was originally created for the Zonta International District 9 conference that was recently held in San Jose, California. I'm pleased to make this available to the Zonta members for about a week so that they can have a little reminder of what we talked about in the class. The main point of this presentation is to help you to understand what makes a website work. And the important thing is that you're bringing visitors that you want to attract to your website, and when they get there, they're doing what you want them to do. That might be donating, it might be voting for a candidate, or joining your Zonta group. Here are a few things that you should know about websites, whether you're planning to update the website yourself or have someone else do it for you. Having an understanding of how to develop and maintain a site will make you a better manager of this process. We're going to discuss the difference between the front end and the back end of a site, how to provide clear instructions to your web designer, how to give your site a facelift by using data that is available to you, how to keep your site current, avoid disruptive content, and keep you on the top of the search engine results page. You'll learn the anatomy of a WordPress dashboard and where to find helpful information if you need to know a little HTML code. Most people are only concerned with creating a pretty site, and they forget that it's not a static brochure. You can have the best looking site on the internet, but if your target audience can't find you, it's basically useless. Search engines have something called algorithms. It's a scientific way of figuring out what people need when they go to a website. And they want to make sure that they send you the visitors that really want to see what you have to offer. So what are they looking for? If you have a WordPress site, you have the option to use plugins. So what are they looking for? Information can be input into what's called an SEO plugin. This is, if you're on a WordPress site, a functionality that allows you to tell the search engines what's in your site and what's on the page. The first thing you can do, and the most important, is to create a title tag, which will be up to 65 characters. A title tag also shows up in the navigation as the new name of your page. Your meta description can be up to 160 characters, and this will also show up on the search engine page so that folks can see what they can expect on your page. Your meta keywords are words or phrases that describe the content on your page. Keywords should also be found in domain names, in the page name permalinks or the address of your page, and the page heading. Every single page should have a heading. Keywords are something that someone types into their computer at night when they're sitting there trying to find just the right website to answer a question or to join an organization. Another important aspect of the back end of your website is to keep it maintained for security reasons. Many small businesses and organizations on a budget try to avoid hiring a webmaster to save money. If you have a trained team member who understands how the back end works, that's great. If you don't, you risk having your site not operate properly and at the worst actually crashing. If it crashes and you do not have an automatic backup system, you could lose everything. Then you have to pay a web designer to rebuild. A webmaster will know if and when to update plugins, themes, and your operating system such as WordPress. They can also set up a system to have your sitemap submitted to search engines automatically so that they know when you're providing new content. Your visitor's attention span is about 10 seconds if you're lucky. You only have that amount of time to make an impression. If your navigation bar is too complicated, Your visitor will not find the information they were seeking on your site, such as a donate button, way to purchase a ticket, or information about your organization, and then you lose a potential supporter or member. Most people will not scroll down below the fold, which is where their computer screen ends, unless they are interested in learning more. Hit them with current, visually pleasing, relevant graphics, images, and content at the top of your page. If you try to cram too much on your home page, they may not take the time to sort through all the information they weren't seeking, and they won't click around your site, which impacts your search engine optimization, or SEO. If your landing page is not finished, but you published it anyway, they'll leave and may never come back. So this brings us to your brand. Have you developed one? Certainly for a Zonta organization, it's going to be around the colors and logo of Zonta. But this has to be done before you create your website. Understand what kind of impression you want to make and what will be attractive to your ideal visitor. You're going to be soft and fuzzy, authoritative, creative, whimsical, educational. Certainly you're going to want to have pictures of women on your site. Using the entire rainbow of colors on your site will be distracting and will not bring your visitor's eye to the most important item on your page. Create some graphics that you use throughout the site, such as contact us, view our showcase, donate, or purchase tickets. Visitors will learn that when that button is present, they can take action. So who is representing you in creating content for your website? Adding content is key to keeping visitors coming back. Create a calendar of new information that relates to your events, any kind of seasonal events that you normally have. Also be prepared to put up content that relates to current events in the news. If you have an automated search engine crawling your site each week or day, and you can customize this, you want them to see new information all the time. Decide who's responsible for making these updates. You may ask members of your team to be responsible for creating the content while another is responsible for posting the new information. But have a policy that management checks the content before it's published. Don't let an intern be responsible for this simply because they understand technology, because they won't have the experience in marketing or communications that you need. And the same with social media. If I had a nickel for every new client that said they just wanted a simple site and then they stuck to that, I'd be out of debt. Every web designer knows to provide you with a detailed list of the items they need and the functionality they will provide on your site, and everything else will cost you extra. If you haven't provided that list when you sign an agreement, require it to avoid miscommunication and stress. How will you know what you want? Look at other sites and bring them to the attention of your web designer. Have a conversation about the visitors you're trying to attract. Will they be donating, purchasing tickets? Do you want them to register on your site to see protected information? Do you want to collect email addresses in exchange for a giveaway? Do you want to track their use on your site and use that data for an advertising campaign? There are so many options to consider. Make sure that you have a clear idea of what you're getting going in. And then taking a look at an actual website page and understanding some of the lingo will help you to deal with your web designer. A favicon located in the upper left side here shows your visitors that this is your website. It's kind of your brand in mini version. Your logo shows up at the top of every single page on your website, and people can click on it and get to your home page. The navigation bar and drop-down menu are very important to strategize on. There's also menus in the footer at the bottom, and you could have a custom menu designed for mobile depending on how people use your site. Know the difference between share and follow social media bars. Share bars allow people to share with their own social media friends and followers, and the follow bar follows your social media sites. Think ahead of time if you want people to register on your site. This gives them the opportunity to have an account that provides access to protected content. This is an example of a WordPress dashboard, and you can see on the left side all the different options that you have. You want to make sure that your site is secure, so ask registered visitors to create strong usernames and passwords. And you'll also notice in your dashboard that you have a number that will show up, in this case it's in red, that shows that you have some plugins that need to be updated. Make sure they're current with your current version of WordPress before updating. This maintenance is best left to a webmaster that's keeping up on the latest security issues. But if it's your job, make sure you get to know your dashboard, where you should and shouldn't go, to make sure that you don't mess up the design of the site. It's recommended to schedule a website facelift about every year. You should review your monthly analytics report. You do have Google Analytics, right? Your analytics will tell you what's working and what's not working, who's using your site, what kind of device they use it on. Use that data to do more of what's working and understand and fix what's not working on your site based on the traffic that you're getting. Is your contact information, list of members or leadership, office hours, is that still current? Have you changed your logo or your branding or your address? Should you step up your social media integration, or is social media overwhelming you and you want to step back? All of these things should be kept current to make sure that people know what they can expect when they go to your website. When you're working with your webmaster, it's always best to put your instructions in writing. This protects you and your webmaster or designer. Always set a deadline so there's no misunderstanding and so the web designer can work it into their queue. When a redo or new site is in play, we like to dive in and get it done. This is a creative process and it's always very complicated. If we have to go weeks or months in between our work, we can't keep things straight and might forget a brilliant idea that we intended to use. And on anything digital, when weeks go by, everything may have changed. Plus, we like to finish a project so we can get paid. Webmasters really like to have control over your website, but it's up to the site owner to clarify if the webmaster's duties include writing or editing content. Even though it's our preference you stay out, we know that we want to know if there's a glitch, whether it was caused by human error or whether it's just a problem on the website. It drives us crazy when our clients snoop around where they shouldn't be and then cavalierly say, well, you can fix it, right? And here's one reason why things can go wrong. Look at all the different kinds of devices that we have to design for. It's one of the biggest challenges over the past few years has been keeping up with all the devices that can access your website. Responsive themes have helped with that, but most clients want you to customize a theme and that can mess the responsiveness up. Another challenge is that people have a variety of browsers they use and they don't always keep them updated. Any new apps or plugins that you may want to utilize will be built for the latest operating systems on PCs and Macs and for the last few versions of browsers. Internet Explorer has always been the bane of our existence since websites look and act differently on this Windows product. But now that they've come out with a new version called Edge, websites display more consistently, but only if the user has updated to Edge. If you're adding content to your site, and if you're maintaining your site, there's a few tools here that should be of great help to you. The first one is Canva. Canva is a real easy graphic creation site that you can go to, and it's free. You can create your buttons on there, and you can take pictures and overlay text. It's really helpful. If you need to learn a little HTML, go to w3schools.com. They have just about everything you need to know there, even for the amateur. Choosing the font on your site is also very important. Identifont and Font Zone are places where you can download fonts and also find the right font for you. And HubSpot is a great resource for you to learn about the latest digital marketing techniques. So here are a few of the key tips that we've gone over. And I want to emphasize that the design on your site needs to reflect your brand. Make sure that people understand that they are on a Zonta site when they see your site. Know who your target audience is. Who are you trying to attract to your organization? Give them a way to take action on every page. Use your keywords. Make sure you fill out your SEO plugin so that people can find you, and review your analytics and use it to increase the traffic on your site. Collect email addresses if you can, and make sure that you have social media. Keep your content fresh by putting in new events and new issues that are of interest to women. And of course, less text, more images and graphics is really the way websites are designed these days. So I want to thank you for your interest in websites, and of course, thank you for your support of Zonta International. All the work that you're doing in all the different states in Region 9 really makes a difference for women. And I'm very pleased to be able to do my little part to support Zonta International.